Hello and welcome to another update video about Dogecoin. We still are in a situation where we have a lot of sideways movement in the crypto space, a lot of painful sideways movement. And I mean, as we are approaching the CPI data release publication on I think it's the 13th of December. And then I think a day later, we've got the FOMC press conference and announcement. I think the markets are just holding off a little bit. Just waiting what the data will say. So we might have this painful tight range movement for another week, which is extremely painful. I remember it was last year before year end it happened in a similar way. I think we had a lot of movement in November, and then December at some point just sort of died off. It was just sideways movement, really, really boring. Typical wave 4 fashion. Now here on the Dogecoin chart, we don't have a wave 4 at the moment. But what we are doing here is we've got two possible wave patterns, two main scenarios I'm following. And the one that I'm following with greater certainty and with more, I just think it's more likely is the yellow count. And we've been talking about another low for a while now for Doge, because Doge failed here when it rallied all the way up to around 15.9 cents. When it rallied to that level, it failed to create 5 waves. It only created 3 waves, and as you would then expect it did not hold support here and broke down. It had to hold at the time wave 4 support to put another wave 5 in, and it didn't. Okay, but it came down obviously, and because it's still in this sort of channel here, bit range bound. I think let me just draw the channel. We can still see it as a leading diagonal. That is how you draw a channel for a leading diagonal. You connect waves 1 and 3, and that gives you a parallel channel. And that is a so-called diagonal pattern. And there's obviously a little bit more to it, but in a diagonal, what we have here, and that is the most bullish count we can get here really out of this. There's wave 1, there's wave 2, there's wave 3, there's a wave 4, and the wave 5 could be still a rally that is playing out. But to be honest, we are not really putting the impulsiveness in that we would like to see. Not really the strength at the moment. But of course, as long as we are in this channel, it can do it. We just need to be aware it can do it. It would really only become more likely for me above 14 cents. Because really, until that level, all of what we're doing could just be a wave 2 retracement, and that we came down in a wave 1, and we're now putting this wave 2 in, possibly here in an ABC pattern. So again, the wave 2 really only gets less likely above the 78.6% retrace. So I'm watching that level. We've currently bounced off the 38.2% retracement, but and this is of course a level where wave 2 could already finish, but we need to be ready that it can push higher. A wave 2 would normally move into the region around the 50% or 61.8% retrace, in this case the 11.5 and the 12.5 cent level. But yeah, it's getting extremely difficult for it. I think we can define a breakout point above which the breakout will get more likely. I think we don't even consider the wicks. I think what is more relevant is here, if you just do it like that, we disregard the wicks here on the 4-hour chart, and you get all of these candles below a resistance line. What we could then do is, let me see if we get a nice ascending triangle or some kind of pattern here together, but I don't think we do actually. I don't think we do. It could be some kind of a triangle, whatever, right? Here with this, we've got 3 touch points, maybe descending triangle. That would actually confirm the idea that we could push further up short term. So the breakout point here is 10.7 cents. Getting above that level, it could take us to 11.5. And then here the 12.5 cent level, which is the 61.8% retrace. Breakout to the downside from here would not necessarily invalidate that blue wave 5, but it would put more emphasis on the yellow count here, certainly. The yellow count will get much more likely if we break out of the channel to the downside. And yeah, then we look at something around maybe 4, maybe even lower, 4 cents, 3 cents. We'll see. We'll need to see how high we actually go before we have a confirmed top in place and can calculate the target for the wave 3. But at the moment it is holding, and this consolidation is not necessarily bearish, so it rather suggests further upside. It could be short-term upside, and then we have a decision point here at these Fib levels. The most important one here at the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. Looking at the EMA ribbon also gives us a bit of a clue about where we are. Here we can see that we're basically on the 4 hour in the middle of the EMA ribbon. No, we actually dropped just below it. Certainly not a bullish sign. You can see that we had a long signal here that would have worked out based on this indicator. But now we've just dropped below it again. Yeah, we lost support of the EMA ribbon throughout this entire movement here. We actually did find support somewhere around the EMA ribbon, but here we dropped below it. Now that is a sign that things could be moving down. It's just one indicator, bear that in mind, and it's only on the 4 hour chart. On the 1 hour, we already had a short signal. We're currently hovering around, or no, below the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour chart. The 8 hour, we're still hovering above that. Yeah, but again, the 4 hour chart is quite a meaningful one. And naturally, it will take longer for these EMAs to break than the 4 hour or the 1 hour chart. So the 1 hour and the 4 hour, this is where it starts really. And we already broke below the 1 hour EMA ribbon. And the 4 hour we've just broken as well. So the 8 hour might be next, especially if we drop below this ascending trend line, which is not a given, but I'm pointing out if we do that, yeah, which is basically here around the 9.8 cent level, then we have a good chance to break lower, retest here maybe 9 cents, and then drop further to the downside. Yeah, and that is my update about Dogecoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.